The morning rush is a low, constant hum. You stand in line, shifting your weight, eyes fixed on the back of the person ahead of you. The air smells like roasted beans and damp pavement. You reach the counter. Your turn. You tap your card against the reader. A quick, sharp beep cuts through the noise. $20 gone. You do not think twice about it. It is just coffee. It is just another normal day in a sequence of days that feel exactly the same. You take the cup, the heat radiating through the cardboard, and step out into the cold air. Steam rises in thin, white ribbons, vanishing before it even reaches your face. You walk toward the subway, the cup held firmly in your hand. Around you, the city moves with the same rhythmic, unthinking pace. You sip the coffee. It is bitter, familiar, and comforting. You do not realize what this costs you. You do not look back at the cafe. You just keep walking, blending into the crowd. The rhythm settles in. One morning becomes a week becomes a month, and the months fold into years. You repeat the same sequence. You tap the card. You hear the beep. You take the cup. The card reader grows slightly worn under the pressure of thousands of taps. The cafe lights flicker. The staff changes, but your order remains the same. You watch the seasons shift through the cafe window. Sometimes the air is thick with summer humidity. Other times it bites with winter frost. But the $20 always leaves your account with the same mechanical ease. You stop noticing the price. You stop noticing the steam. It is a background process, a silent drain that you never bother to audit. You move through the city, a creature of habit, fueled by the same daily ritual. You do not see the pattern. You do not see the total. You only see the immediate need for caffeine. 5 years of mornings pass in a blur of identical motion. You are consistent. You are reliable. You are spending your future in $20 increments, one cup at a time, while the world keeps spinning around your perfectly preserved, invisible habit. The mailbox clatters. You reach in, fingers brushing against cold metal, and pull out a thick, white envelope. It feels heavier than the usual junk mail. You walk back inside, the floorboards creaking under your weight. You drop your bag, toss the keys on the table, and sit. You slide a finger under the seal. The paper tears with a sharp, dry sound. You pull out the document. It is a bank statement, crisp and folded into thirds. You unfold it, the paper snapping flat against the desk. You smooth the creases with your palm. Your eyes move to the top, scanning the dates, the account numbers, the headers. It is a stark, unblinking document of your financial history. You begin to read the rows. Each line is a record of a transaction, a ghost of a past day. You scan the columns, your eyes moving left to right, but then your eyes snag on a specific section. You slow down. You lean closer, the light from the lamp catching the ink. Your eyes stop moving. They fixate on a single bolded line item near the bottom of the page, miscellaneous spending. You blink, assuming the light is playing tricks on your vision. You shift the paper, tilting it to catch the glare of the overhead light, but the text remains sharp and unforgiving. You read the number, $36,000. You pull back, your chair scraping harshly against the floor. It is impossible. You reread the line, tracing the digits one by one, counting the zeros to be certain. 36,000. The number does not change. It sits there, a heavy, silent anchor on the page. You look away, staring at the wall, trying to find a mistake in your own memory. You turn back to the document, reading it a third time. Slower now, syllable by syllable. The total is real. The weight of it hits your chest, a sudden, sharp pressure that forces your breath to hitch. You inhale, but the air feels thin, caught in your throat. All those small, forgotten transactions have coalesced into this staggering sum. A cold knot tightens in your stomach, pulling your focus away from the paper. You push the bank statement aside and reach for your laptop. The lid clicks open. You pull up a financial calculator, the white screen glowing harsh and bright in the dim room. Your fingers hover over the keys, then descend. You type the numbers in, one by one, your hands shaking so hard you have to delete and start over twice. You input the 36,000, then the time frame, then a conservative interest rate. You hit the enter key. The cursor blinks, a steady, rhythmic pulse. The screen flickers and a new figure appears, $40. You stare at the digits. The difference between what you have and what you could have had is $4,000. You lean forward, pressing your palms into the desk until your knuckles turn white. You look at the screen, then back at the bank statement, comparing the two realities. The calculator does not lie. It shows you exactly what those daily habits cost, not just in cash, but in growth. The room feels smaller now, the silence pressing against your ears. The 40,000 figure stares back at you, but it no longer feels like the end of the story. A bolder, more aggressive thought takes root. You remember the whispers of the gold market, the way people talk about it as a hedge against the slow erosion of value. You clear the calculator screen. Your fingers move with new purpose, tapping in the data for a 5-year window, from 2021 to 2026. You simulate the scenario. Every one of those $20 daily habits channeled instead into gold. You hit enter. The screen goes blank for a heartbeat, the processor churning through the math. Then, the result flashes in bold, black text. $70. You stop breathing. You lean back. The chair springs groaning under your sudden shift in weight. 70,000. The number is not just a figure. It is a physical weight that settles in the air between you and the monitor. You look at the screen, then at your hands, then back at the screen. The gap between your reality and that potential is $34,000. The realization hits with the force of a physical blow. You stare at the screen, the cursor blinking in a steady, mocking rhythm. The 70,000 figure remains burned into your retinas, a glowing testament to years of drift. You push the laptop away, the metal frame scraping harshly against the wood. Your eyes wander across the desk, landing on the object that started it all, a disposable coffee cup. It sits there, stained with a dark ring of dried residue, looking small and utterly insignificant. You reach out, your fingers brushing the crinkled cardboard. It feels flimsy, cheap, and hollow. You pick it up, turning it slowly in your hand. The light catches the rim, highlighting the jagged tear where you had pulled the lid off hours ago. This was the source. This is the leak. You stare at the empty vessel, seeing past the cardboard to the thousands of dollars that had flowed through it, disappearing into the morning air like steam. It is not just a cup anymore. It is a monument to every moment you chose comfort over growth. You set it back down. The weight of the empty cup no longer pulls you down. It acts as an anchor for a new resolve. You shift your focus from the past to the immediate present. Your hand reaches for your phone, the screen waking with a soft, blue glow. You tap the icon for your banking app, the familiar interface loading with a series of quick digital pulses. Your thumb hovers over the transfer menu. This is the moment where the cycle breaks. You navigate to the automated settings, your movements precise and deliberate. You set the recurring amount, the same $20 that once vanished into the morning air. You select the investment account, the destination for your future growth. Your finger rests on the confirm button. There is a brief, silent hesitation, a final check against the old version of yourself that would have walked away. You press it. A green checkmark flashes on the screen, signaling the transaction is complete. The money is no longer drifting. It is working. You set the phone down, the screen still bright, and look at the desk. The air in the room feels different, lighter, as the constant, invisible leak finally stops. The screen of your phone dims, the blue light fading to a soft, neutral gray. You have done it. The automated transfer is locked, a silent promise written into the code of your financial life. You turn your attention back to the laptop, the glowing display still showing the projections of what could have been. You do not dwell on the missed years anymore. The regret has been replaced by a sharp, clear sense of purpose. You reach out and grip the edge of the screen. With one steady, fluid motion, you pull it downward. The hinge creaks, a final, mechanical sound that marks the end of the old cycle. The screen meets the keyboard with a soft, definitive click, and the room plunges into a deeper, more peaceful silence. You sit back in your chair, the tension that had been coiled in your shoulders for years finally unraveling. The air feels still. You look around the desk, seeing it not as a place of waste, but as a starting point. You stand up, your movements calm and intentional. The leak is plugged. The drift has stopped. You walk toward the window, watching the morning light shift across the floor, ready to step into a day that you have finally chosen for yourself.